Olá, a gente fala agora com o Richard Atthias, que é CEO do FII Institute, o Instituto de Iniciativas para Investimento Futuro. Richard, this is the first time that the summit takes place in Latin America, so why Brazil and why Rio?
First of all, our mission is to have an impact on humanity. How do we try to have an impact on humanity at the FII Institute is by bringing together policymakers, investors, business leaders to discuss on what are the main challenges, but more importantly, the main opportunities in terms of investment. We host for the past 7 years global conversation on investment in Saudi Arabia, and we decided also to expand because it's important to also go on the ground. So we started by going in the United States, in Miami, then in Asia, and Latin America is quite discrete. It's a continent which is maybe by the languages borders, barriers like Portuguese or Spanish is not always open. So when the world is not coming to us, we go to the world. So we decided to go to Latin America because we have also the conviction that this continent with almost 700 million people, so many young people, an amazing reservoir on natural resources in terms of mining, in terms of food, in terms of agriculture, in terms of renewable energy, as President Lula mentioned in his opening speech. It's a land of opportunities. It's a huge territory. So we decided to come now to Latin America and Brazil because we think it is the gate to Latin America, 200 plus million people, part of the BRICS, part of the G20, an economy which is doing quite well now. So it was obvious for us to support Latin America through Brazil, and this is why we are here. And I have to say that we're extremely happy because if I was told a few months ago that we will have more than 1,500 CEOs coming to Brazil during 2 days and a half, and you saw with your eyes how people work together, they collaborate, they are talking about multiple projects, I think it will be a game changer, and this is a very important milestone for Brazil and for Latin America.
And you mentioned some sectors. There is some specific ones that would you highlight for public and private investments, and what kind of connections do you see that is possible to build this bridge?
I am hearing a lot of conversations, and including what the President Lula said and all his cabinet members, and I see the appetite on the following sectors. Number one, definitely agriculture, alimentation, food, very important. Brazil could play a big role on food security worldwide, helping countries providing food. So this is sector number one. Sector number two, as you know, all industries in the world all need mining. And you need mining because each single, I would say, product in the world is using minerals. So as you know, mining is a very important sector. Then renewable energy is absolutely crucial. Why? Because if you look just at AI is exploding, but artificial intelligence cannot happen, this revolution cannot happen unless you have data centers. And data centers are using a lot of energy. So to be sustainable, data centers with green energy, with hydrogen, with all the products that Brazil could produce in particular will be also a very important sector. And last but not least, I think everything related to even culture, entertainment. Brazil has a lot to offer, Latin America has a lot to offer. I see these sectors being definitely the sectors of the future, including financial services. So in fact, I see really a very wide panorama portfolio, and this is on what the conversations between investors and Brazilian authority were based, and also in particular between the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, which is our founding partner at the FII Institute, and the authorities were based on.
And the PIF governor mentioned today that Saudi investments are usually national and greenfield projects. In Brazil, what we saw until now were more acquisitions through operational companies. Do you think that will be a second wave of investment to greenfield projects, or usually will be to acquisitions yet?
I think everything is possible. It can go from co-investment, It can go with supporting early stage companies, which were created in Latin America and Brazil. It could be by public-private partnerships. So I think all the formulas are possible. It depends of, I would say, the particularity of each project, the scale of the project, and the business model of the project. But there is not a single particular way of investment. As you know, today, in terms of sovereign wealth fund, generally speaking, they invest in multiple formulas. So everything is possible. It depends of how concrete, pragmatic, and quick all these projects could happen.
And the Brazilian Minister of Energy mentioned today $50 billion that will be the interest for Saudi investments in Brazil. Would you say this is a correct number or too soon to say?
No, this is a number which was circulating already during the President Lula visit in Saudi Arabia in November. So at the end of the day, it's not about numbers, it's about the interest and I would say the depth or the depth of each project. If you see a project which will have also an impact on humanity, an impact on inclusion, investment for good, and good return of investment for everybody, including for the society, for the ecosystem. At the end of the day, it's not about the scale or the amount, it's the impact of the project.
Great, thank you so much.